I was just going to say, thank you. I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of toxic behaviors come from ego and all these kind of things. And when you're with someone who is exhibiting these kind of behaviors, you can kind of see that ego seeping out in other areas of life. So I feel like unless you're really blinded by your emotions, you're going to be able to see that, oh, you know what, maybe my partner is being a bit toxic or whatever. But because you, for whatever reason, you want to stay in that kind of situation, or you might find it hard to leave or whatever, like you take your time to leave, or you just don't.
Yeah, I actually really don't like this word toxic. I feel like it gets thrown about the place too much. It gets...
it loses meaning.
I just think it's just, people understand it as so many different things. And so what is toxic? How do you summarize what's toxic to you might not be toxic to somebody else? I just think it's one of those words, social media, everyone's jumped on it now. Everything's toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, toxic behaviors. Actually, why don't we just call it for what it is? You're a shitty person. Yeah. You're, whatever, you're arrogant, or you haven't, whatever, you're egotistically motivated or whatever it is. I think we use it as like a filler word to summarize like loads of unnecessary things.
Yeah, I think there's got to be context behind any particular behavioural trait that someone's displaying. I think that a lot of people, because they will use the word to almost not explore the actual context behind it. And
because sometimes people just don't want to, they don't want to spend their energy explaining why somebody's the way they are. They just want to find a word to describe to you, like this person is...
I think people are very easily triggered, even when, friends come to relationship advice now, it's like, oh, these are red flags, this is toxic, and it's like...
Women think everything is a red flag.
Everything.
Not everything
Especially,
is a red
you
flag.
see with ick culture, I can't lie, ick culture makes me laugh. I saw what Nella Rose said, I get an ick when he walks to the car and that. Do you know what's so funny though?
Let's talk about women's red flags. Like, what are red flags in women?
I think when you've got say if you've got a boyfriend and then you've got multiple boys on Snapchat, and you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Especially if you say they're convenient.
Yeah, I always think as well, if you don't want him doing it, why are you doing it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't want her doing it, why are you doing it?
I agree, to some degree. I think of a red flag in a woman is a woman who has, a girl, woman, whatever, who has loads of male friends, but she doesn't have any female friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that shows me that she will be comfortable in that sort of, okay, great, she's great, she connects with the guys, whatever, but why are women not taking to her? I'm not saying that she must have multiple, a whole handful of friends.
Or why do you have not any at all?
Do you think it's a red flag if a woman has slept with a lot of men?
Yes.
A little bit.
Because it's like...
A little bit?
A little bit. Because if it was, you don't know, when they were younger and maybe surrounded by the wrong, say, bunch of girls, and was their mindset was like that, so she just went along with it like that, and then grew up and then was like, I'm not actually like that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do those things because I'm a woman. I don't like to do those things like men do. Right? Then not so much, because she's realised it. If a girl...
But would you rather your brother date a girl that had that past or didn't have that past?
That didn't.
See, I actually haven't thought about if it's a red flag or not, because the way that I see it is, I don't really care how many partners you've had before me. And maybe some men care. I've met men that don't care, because what is done before is irrelevant. Obviously, if you're clarting everyone and you're walking down the street and men are just approaching you left, right, hey, and you know that she's really put it out there, then that's a huge issue. But that would be an issue for anybody. If I was walking down the street with a guy and every 5 seconds a woman is walking up to him.
Do you think women feel that way about Drake? Women are lined up to sleep with Drake and he slept with loads of women. Do you think women care?
But the standard for men and women is so different.
You're right.
Especially in this day and age. A guy, he can have slept with 100 women and he'll get spuds for it, or he'll get ratings or whatever.
But it's very
Let a girl sleep with more than 10 guys. She's a hoe for life, branded.
But I do think that it is slightly, and it is a double standard, and I don't know, I'm a woman, I don't want to jump ship on womanhood and everything and whatnot, but it is different. I feel like it is different to allow a man into your sacred space. Don't get me wrong, you can be comfortable, you can be promiscuous as much as you want, you could love sex, that's okay, you can do whatever you want, but I think that it's poor sexual hygiene to let so many guys.
So you would say it's a red flag?
Also, it's...
I get, let me answer the question. I hadn't thought about it before.
But you would say yes.
But I would probably say now, if she's overly promiscuous and just puts it out there without any sexual morals whatsoever, then that would be a red flag.
I would say
what do you think, red flag?
Yeah, I think that if it's an attitude, which is a very casual attitude towards sex, and that is a red flag. Yeah.
You both said yes. What about you?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but hearing everybody's takes on it, yes, it is quite a sacred thing. And if you don't give it the value that it has, and you're just like whatever with it, then you don't respect yourself. And
what do you guys say to women that say men are insecure for feeling that way?
I don't think it's an insecurity.
No, it's not an insecurity. I think
it's preference.
For women, as I think we know also, it's not as good for us as it is for men.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we want, well, me personally anyway.
What's not as good for us as it is for men?
Well, there is a book.
It depends. I'm telling you,
sex.
The majority of women,
act of sex.
No, not necessarily the act, but like, they always finish. I don't know.
Majority of women don't get that.
Honey.
Oh no,
no,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't want my boyfriend to be offended.
We do get energetically tied to the men that we sleep with, and I think that it's like it's an energy exchange. And again, if you're sort of sleeping with multiple men and you're taking on that energy as well, it spiritually, I feel it does affect you. And a lot of women actually are depressed and all kinds of things. Because I believe there is an aspect of actually taking on the energy of all these different people.
So you believe in soul ties, innit?
Yeah, I do believe in that.
I can't lie, I believe in them to an extent as well.
Mm.
Like basically, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's when you basically sleep with someone and their energy kind of comes into you and yours goes into theirs, and it's like you start, I don't know, not taking their traits.
Yeah, you almost take on some of their DNA.
Yeah, it's like almost taking like their traits into account. It's like a spiritual thing, like you said.
Yeah.
I feel like as well, because I'm religious as well, I feel like it's a thing like that. Where if you sleep with a certain person, say they've got, I don't know, demons or something, you're gonna attract some of those.
I feel that way. And there's a thing that we do as humans, it's like pair bonding.
Mm-hmm.
So actually there's a hormone that gets released when you have sex with the same person, particularly multiple times, that we actually do release these hormones, which sends a signal to our brain that we're actually going to be like procreating with this person. So I feel like that is damaging in the long run if we're just doing that with people that we don't have that intention with.
Yeah. 100%. But at the same time as well, you see where it comes to all this, I don't know, soul ties, emotional kind of bonding and stuff. I feel like personally, men don't really get that. I feel like you can sleep with a guy. Say you've been talking to this guy for ages. He could have one thing in his mind and he can be saying, okay, cool, I'm just here to do it and then go. But at the same time, if you start actually catching feelings for this guy, when you sleep with him, it's going to amplify. But he might not feel the same way. And because I feel like they don't get attached as easily as we do. So I feel like for somebody to be sleeping with people that much, they don't really have, like, how do you have feelings?
Well, I feel like you feel even just the physical act of what happens with men and women is that, the men release, don't they? And then they're relieved and they go. As women, we receive it all. So even the egg, when it gets implanted, it's like we've received that, and the baby then grows in us. They don't have that experience. So that's where genetically, we are made differently.
I heard guys say that they don't even know if they like you until they've slept with you.
100%.
Yeah, I heard that.
Isn't there like that? Do you think? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that women get post? I don't want to say. Oh, it sounds so cringe, but we're just going to drop it. Do you think women get like post finish clarity? See the way that guys get post nut clarity.
No.
Do you think women get that?
I can't lie.
Like as soon as you finish, you think, oh, actually, I didn't really need to do that.
Oh,
I didn't really want to do that.
Oh,
do you think women get that kind of like as soon as the act is finished, it's like actually, can you just go home?
A woman is very in their masculine energy, probably.
I think so. And you know what? I think so.
I said yes, but then I just thought like it depends who it is. If you're, it literally depends who it is. I think. I don't know. Yeah,
I was just curious.
Without going,
as you just said, men sometimes men don't even have to like the woman that they have sex with. This is just a blood flow to their organ that they have now used. They've finished, and now
I would say not like at first, but I could see some girls that like have had sex so much that they kind of just start acting like dudes. You know what what you said?
Yeah,
I'm like I could see that a little bit.
Yeah.